TV. Hope you're having a good one. What's good? What's good? What's good? It's been an interesting morning already. BlackRock is already out with numbers and has done, I would say, pretty well. Pretty well. Over the past 3 months, $744 billion in growth? Yeah, I think they're doing all right. Or is it over the past 12 months? I have to look at the video that we just put out a couple of minutes ago because I didn't report on it. Somebody else did. But, last night we were touching on what's going on with the market, and what I figured out this morning was supposedly they're trying to have another peace meeting this weekend from Friday to Sunday, is what it sounds like. So the market seems to be reacting to that, which, is kind of interesting because right now you truly have two sides that don't want to fight anymore. Like, nah, I'm kind of done with that. Why is that? Neither side can actually afford it. When you really get right down to it, neither side can actually afford to have a full-scale, full-on war. Definitely not Iran. Iran is hurting. They've depleted a lot of things. Good morning, Grant 7282. Good morning, Paula Mortimer. Hope you're both doing well. Don't forget to invest in yourselves today. I know I forgot to type it, but please do not forget to do so. Now, an analysis highlights that reduced U.S.-Iran conflict risk due to regime priorities and China's kind of de-escalation stance. They're not happy with the United States, having a blockade on the Strait of Hormuz, but they're taking a softer tone, which is sending good vibes to the market. I think it's a little premature, frankly, but I could be wrong. This is why you don't listen to me. I'm not a financial advisor. I'm just coming out here with the news and giving my opinion on same. What else do we have going on? Web3 projects lost about $464 million in the first quarter of this year. That's a lot of money to be lost. And it follows a $4 billion fraud from OneCoin. Now, the cool thing about this and why I bring up OneCoin is because that $4 billion fraud that happened years ago, well, the United States is finally going to help compensate those people that were affected, with the funds that they confiscated. I think one of my biggest issues is I don't understand why governments have to hold on to confiscated funds for so long. Case has been over for eons. How about you give back the money to the people, or the value to the people that were actually affected? It shouldn't take that long, right? You need to track down people. You need to track down wallets. Whatever it is, it shouldn't take that long. Technology gets easier over time. Just saying. That's just my own feeling about that. What else happened? White House report estimates banning stablecoin yields would marginally boost bank lending by $2.1 billion. But the American Bankers Association warns of deposit outflows as Senate crypto regulation debates continue, with Coinbase CEO criticizing bank rates. Now, I find this whole thing to be freaking funny. I want you to listen to what the American Bankers Association is saying. Literally what they're saying is, we're going to lose business if this happens. That's literally what they're saying. That's literally what they're saying. The issue that they really have is that, yes, they would lose business. You want to know why? Because getting into crypto is not as easy as just going out and buying a broker dealer, buying a stock exchange, buying this, buying that to get into that line of business. You forget. Your bank is not just a bank. When you walk into a bank, depending on the product that you're working with, you're dealing with a different company. Legally, you're dealing with a different company. Hold on, let me just write this note to everybody. Don't forget to invest in yourself today. There you go. Because that is a big deal. Now, when you walk into a bank and you make a deposit, okay, you're dealing with the bank. Walk into a bank and you're looking for a savings account, dealing with a bank. Walk into a bank and looking for a high net yield savings account, and you might not be dealing with the same entity. Walk into a bank and say, oh, hey, I'm interested in a mortgage. You're dealing with a different company. They're all under the same umbrella, but they're different companies. They represent whole chunks of business that were bolted onto the bank. And there's your crypto problem. You can't just bolt on crypto. And that's where they're all having an issue. So yes, I'm willing to bet you that if Chase, by the way, JP Morgan Chase's numbers are out now. So in case you want to go find out, if you look at banks right now, if they would have gotten into crypto a long time ago, they'd be prepared. They'd have better products. They'd have better services. This is why I keep saying banks need to redefine what a bank is. Step up your game. Don't try to change the rules, because that's what they're crying about. Oh no, we couldn't possibly allow this other financial institution type cyber, crypto type stuff, enter our business, because they would take business from us. You're begging to have a racket? Is that that's what you're saying? You're begging to have a racket. That checks out, right? That kind of checks out. You want to have a monopoly on the space that you're in, because here's a new space that can definitely give you a run for your money. And absolutely, you would see people take money out of their depository accounts and put them over here into crypto. That is an absolute fact. Step up your game. Stop being a bunch of wusses. Every time I look at that kind of thing, I'm just like, you people really tick me off. Like, really tick me off. Again, step up your game. If you were a regular business and you found competition, are you going to go crying to the government? Oh, there's too much competition. Shut up. Step up your game. Step up your customer service. There's an idea, because a lot of businesses out there are lacking in customer service. All the idiot businesses out there that are taking customer service and shoving it into an AI model, let me tell you something. All your customers hate that. All of them. All of them. We all hate that crap. And banks are no different. You got to jump through call trees and all this stuff. By the time you get to a human being, you might have forgotten what you were calling about. Nobody wants that. Step up your game. Step up your game. If you're not going to give me customer service, you're not actually going to help me achieve my financial goals. What good are you? Yeah, that's pretty much it. Chris Giancarlo left his law firm. This was an SEC official at one point, leaving law to do what? To advise crypto companies. This is on the heels of another former SEC person becoming president of a company in the crypto space. Why is that a big deal? Oh, because they don't plan on having compliance problems in the future. That's why. Go check out the articles on the site, growmybag.tv. There are tons of articles, like 14,000, and you'll see a whole bunch of stuff. And one of them is going to be SEC. I think I reported that last week. Yeah. As a former SEC official becomes president. Yeah. These crypto companies are not playing games. And that's why banks are upset. Because when they go for executives, they're going for top-notch, completely capable executives, unafraid to make decisions. Banks? Yeah, we're going to let that go. Ripple CEO Brad Garlinghouse had come out for the Clarity Act. And now he's kind of softening that stance a little bit. Still in favor of the Clarity Act, but what he's saying is like, hey, look, listen, is it perfect? No, but it's pretty much there. He doesn't want to show full-chested, yeah. Clarity Act is not perfect. It is imperfect. If you're interested, go read the Clarity Act and you'll see what's in it. I'm telling you, you'll be amazed. Oil prices dropped as IEA warns of Hormuz blockade destabilizing and risking ceasefire. All these things are happening right now, right? China condemning, everything that's going on over there right now. But China can only help but so much. Russia can only help but so much. Do I think that Iran is sitting on a stockpile in case of, as a last resort? Yes. Absolutely yes. So if this goes on, there will probably be some kind of military surprise. Yo, Turtle Bitcoin was good. So that's what I'm looking at right now. We've got SoftBank, SoftBank, NEC, Honda, and Sony launching an AI firm for industrial systems. They're not going after chat. They're going specifically after industrial systems. That's a very big deal. That's a very big deal. I was speaking last night about how the CEO of Ford had gone over to China, saw the cars, saw the EVs, and came back and was like, yeah, if that comes here, we're done. The CEO of Honda did the same thing. Came back, same thing. If those come here, we're done. We're done. So all the improvements that they can possibly make, they need them. But I think it's another industry that rested on their laurels. I named 3 industries last night that were resting on their laurels that are subject to disruption. And not just subject to, I think that disruption is already here. From younger, more agile, more forward-thinking companies. Because they slept on it. They slept on it. The industry, the auto industry, 30 years of tamping down on new ideas for greater fuel efficiency, better looks, better design, all this stuff. They went for, make sure that car lasts, if the warranty is 3 years, make sure it lasts 3 years and 1 day. That's the kind of attitude. When you get into a car and you see, flimsy pieces, what once was metal is now plastic. What was once leather is now plastic. Yeah, all those things that made the luxury car luxury went away. And then now they've, in the United States, they want to come out with all these subscription models. Why? What do you mean subscription? Are you serious? I'm spending all this money. You want me to pay a subscription? And you wonder why China's coming out with all these new EVs that can charge in fully charge in 10 minutes. And you're crying about what could possibly happen to you. Another industry, step up your game. Step up your game. I get it. You don't want the competition, but that competition is all around you. Even if the competition is not allowed to come into the United States, it's already in Mexico. There are going to be a few in Canada. Step up your game. I think that right now you're going to see car companies being forced to step up their game and being forced to not gouge their customers. Because what would make a faithful customer move to another brand? It's a lot. It's actually a lot. People love the brand of cars that they're in for one reason or another. So it takes a lot to get them to move. You want to know what's going to get them to move? Higher quality. There are those out there that will say, oh, Chinese things, the quality isn't good. Let's break that down. Both CEOs came back and said the quality is higher. The luxury is better. The trim is better. The battery charging is better. The technology is better. Better. And then, on top of that, you have technology being complemented by better visual design, better usefulness within the car. Have a tight space? Don't go open up your car and scratch the car next to yours. Go like that, and the car pulls out and pulls in front of you so you can get into your car. Hands full? Not a problem. Wave your hand, the door will open. And you just get in. Yeah. And here's the kicker. It's not like we couldn't have done it here. We could have done it here. But instead of embracing new technology, We decided, no, that's not what we're going to do. And there's the problem. That one right there. You made a choice. You made a decision. That's not what we're going to do. So here comes another country with a whole bunch of companies, not just BYD, but a whole bunch of companies, all better than what you have. You should have been paying attention when Tesla took it on the chin in China. Tesla used to be popular. Yeah, it's not so much anymore. The cars out there look better, move better, charge faster. You're not being charged every 2 seconds for something. That subscription model is another way of squeezing dollars out of people's pockets. China coming into a market, they're not going to do that. They're going to be like, yeah, no, we're going to put the value in the car and you'll buy the value. 2 industries that I just named, I just went over again. Check out the third industry. It'll be interesting. Go watch last night's show. A problem is that we're not paying attention to the opportunities that are availed to us. That's what these industries are doing. They're being caught out there because they thought if they controlled with an iron fist their little racket, that it would remain the same for a long time. The banking industry is not just being the United States banking industry is not just being chased by fintechs and crypto. They're also being faced with Europe saying, we're done with Visa, MasterCard, and other U.S. banking systems. We're going to build our own. And they have. Like I said, step up your game. Anyway, what else do we have? We have a new AI out there, Minimax M2.7. Model achieves 56.22% SWE Pro score and 1,495 ELO GDPYL -AA. Those are industry standard tests that they tested well with 30% self-optimization gains, sparking backlash over license restrictions. Why? Because they changed the licensing so that they could start making money commercially. Oh. Now, I know a lot of companies out there, this is what we do for a lot of our clients. We have several open source models that we use for different things that can also be used to check each other. Just saying, there are different ways that you can increase efficiency and quality. It's not necessarily speed that most companies are worried about. They're worried about the quality of the content that comes out, the quality of the report, the quality of this, the quality of that. That's what they're worried about. And we can help with that. Good morning, Rick Ritchie. Working on investing in yourself right now. That's what I'm talking about. Thank you very much. But you know what we should do? That's right. We should go over the numbers. So let's go do that. Let me get my notes out of the way. Yeah, we had a ton of stuff. And you can tell I didn't get to everything. I did not get to everything. So Dow futures looking like it's about 30 points down. S&P futures about 7.75 points down. NASDAQ futures, 7.7 points up. My bad. NASDAQ futures about 84.75 up. Oil down 1.71 to 97.37. US 10-year down 0.008. Very interesting stock market. Hope being priced in this far in advance. Somebody must know that this regime, the United States regime, must get out of this conflict because it's a conflict. And he's got 13 days left to get out of this conflict. Must get out of this conflict, or he's going to have to go to Congress and ask Congress to declare war. That's not going to bode well. What do I think about hydrogen cars? Sorry, I missed that. What do I think about hydrogen cars? I think they're great. I think any renewable energy source being used almost anywhere, I think is good. We need to not rely on fossil fuels. That's my humble opinion. But going back to the topic at hand, do I think that Congress would be in a position to be able to say, sure, we'll call it a war? Yeah, that might not be a good thing. That might not be a good thing. Actually, I can tell you right now, it would absolutely not be a good thing. They have the votes to do it. Gonzalez has stepped down, Swalwell has stepped down. So in Congress, they would have the votes to do it for sure. For sure. But politically, is that something you want to do? That'd be the dumbest thing in the world to do. It was the dumbest thing in the world to actually start the conflict. And it's the dumbest thing in the world to actually take it a step beyond and call it a war. That would be really, really, really bad. You might, and I can see what the whole idea is. Well, if we declare war, maybe we could stop. Maybe we could stop elections. Historically, we've never stopped elections. During the Civil War, we had elections. During world wars, we had elections. Good luck with that. Good luck with that. And that's everybody's fear. Everybody in Washington, that's their fear. And right now, they have nothing to fall on. I mean, I was reading the news and, looking at the economy, and one politician said, well, we could always fall back on the tax cuts. You're not going to be able to fall back on that. And the reason why is because now that everything's kicked in, now everybody can see who actually got tax cuts and who didn't. Nobody down here got tax cuts. They're paying more. We are paying more. The people up here, oh, they got all the tax cuts. Corporations, they got all the tax cuts. That shouldn't be. And that's what people are saying right now. It's like, well, wait a minute. That's not the way it's supposed to be working. And you'd be right. And you would be right. But, don't listen to me. I'm just a talking head. What else do we have going on? Earnings calendar. JP Morgan Chase, I told you, just came out with numbers. Johnson & Johnson is supposed to. Citi, Wells Fargo, BlackRock already came out with theirs. I had a news flash while I was doing the show. I had a news flash, breaking news, come out. And you can actually catch that on any one of the socials about how that went. Who else? BlackRock, BitMine, Immersion, Albertsons, retail. I always pay attention to retail. CarMax, definitely want to pay attention to CarMax. For me, I want to pay attention to CarMax. Blue Moon Metals is another one I want to pay attention to. Bank 7, another one. Any kind of financial institution, I'm paying attention to. Any kind of retail, I'm paying attention to. And people are sitting there going, why, Eddie? Why would you want to pay attention to that? Financial institutions will tell me what kind of cash flows they have, what kind of profits they have, and where those profits came from. Was it bank deposits or was it one of the other lines of business? Very interested in that. What's the other reason? Oh, yeah. Might give me an idea about, credit cards and fees, like late fees. How much money did you make off of late fees? You know what I'm saying? Just all kinds of things, all kinds of information come out of that. On the retail side, who's buying and what are they buying? Oh, yeah, that's what I want to know. That's what I want to know. Because my suspicion is that we are in a K-shaped economy and this is getting deeper. This part of it is getting deeper and this part of it is going higher. Yeah, that's why I want to know. I want to know who's spending. I want to know who's not. I want to know what people are doing to actually save money. Are they foregoing these things and getting those things? I want to know what the changes are. That's why. So yeah, it seems like an odd combination to be looking for. But when you break it down, not such an odd combination. Let's see. On economic news, we've got NFIB, Optimism Index, Producer Price Index at 830, which is core PPI, all the PPI stuff. Producer Price Index. That's another huge inflation number. So we're going to be paying attention to that. Crypto Fear and Greed Index, I'm shocked. It's up at 21. Reversal of, 12 from yesterday. We're still in extreme fear. The war needs to go away, and I'm going to tell you something. Even if the war were to go away and everything was in a great state of affairs following this conflict, I keep saying war, it's not a war, it's a conflict, legally. Everything goes back to, hopefully, returns back to some sort of a new normal. Guess what? It's going to take 3 to 5 years to bring some of Qatar's capabilities back online. There are others that were completely destroyed. It's going to take 2.5 years for other things. So we're talking about years out that we're going to be looking at elevated oil. Years out that we'll be looking at elevated oil prices. Huh. Yeah. How does that bode well for anyone? It's going to cost more to get to the office. It's going to cost more for goods. Goods not just for travel, but goods because made out of petroleum, plastics and stuff. So yeah, I'm expecting that, this is going to have a very, very long-term impact. A very long-term impact. So yeah, good luck with looking at it in any other way. Right now, the crypto fear and greed, right now the total value locked, $98.339 billion in total value locked. It's the value. Don't forget. It's not just people putting more in. It's the value. And I think this is just a value move. The industry went up. A lot of coins went up. And that's what we're seeing right now. Just saying. Just putting it out there for you so you can remain clear. Bitcoin is at 74,436 at the moment. You can see how this looks right here. That's very interesting. And I didn't move it over. Didn't I move it over? Yeah, I did. All right, because right now one of my screens is still focused on me, and I'm like, why is it still focused on me? But whatever. Right now, we did bust through that 73,750, which is a good thing. That's a very good thing. We're in the 74 range. We've been in the 74 range for a little while this morning. My issue is I'm still waiting for that drop. We're at a fragile point. We're at a very fragile point. So I'm enjoying profit. And it's not called profit until you take it. I'm enjoying profit. Why? Because I think we have at least one more down before it goes up again. So I'm profiting here. I'm choosing to profit a little bit here so that when it goes down, I can acquire more value at that level. Taking the extra money from this, pulling out, waiting a second, and going to get back in when it drops. Instant dry powder. Just saying. Coin 360, you look at the big board and you can see a lot of things that are up. I'll rattle off the ones that I really still like. BTC, BCH, ETH, XRP, Solana, if you're into that kind of thing, yes, you can make money off of it. ADA, BNB, LTC, XLM, SUI, DOT. No, not DOT, because DOT's going to take it on the chin. Can I still make money off of DOT if I pay attention and I do my own research, know my entries and exits, and absolutely invest deliberately? If I invest in and practice the GMB3, can I make money off of DOT? Yes, the same way I can still make money off of Solana. I don't know why Solana is doing so well, and they've got network issues. They've been getting hammered on hacks and various attacks. So that's something to think about. So SUI, LTC, Avalanche, I would still get down with Avalanche. Avalanche is still really good across a lot of different areas, especially RWA. Just putting that out there for you. Doge is still one that you could touch and probably make money off of. Pepe, Link, SHIB, ZEC is in the news today. Go do your own research. XMR, Ton, HBAR, Hype. CRO was actually in the news last night. Go check out the article that we have because they have $1 million bonus pool going on for the UFC. Yeah, go check that out. Go check that out. Don't forget who they're in bed with. Don't forget who Crypto.com is in bed with. And all the trouble encircling the new regime over that. Looking at the big board, at the numbers, yeah, things are getting better. Looking at Hyperliquid, if you bought Hyperliquid earlier this year the way I did, you're up 76.63%. Just saying. Just saying. Let's take a look at this. Yeah, go over to Grow My Bag because not only do we have all of these articles, but you just saw a glimpse of the feed. These are all the articles. These are just from today. And you could just keep going. You have some more from yesterday. You could just keep going, and you'll see. So you got a lot of articles from today. I think we have 15 articles this morning. But let's check out the crypto tracker. The crypto tracker on the loser side. I mean, come on, seriously, how much could you possibly lose today? Let's see. Right there. So midnight is down 7.58% with a GMB X factor of 2.32. Midnight is moving in the wrong direction. Midnight is a Cardano coin. So yeah, that's an issue. Looking at the winners, I have no idea what Genius is. Let's see. Rave Dow has been moving. It was up 200 something yesterday. It's up another almost 60 today. I have no idea. These are new highs for it because the GMB X factor is 0. These are new highs for it. I have no idea what Rave Dow is. No idea. Go do your own research on that. Lido Dow's up 17.72%. GMB X factor of 19.29. Fartcoin is up 15.02%. GMB X factor of 10.52. Anybody else I'm interested in? Let's see. Pudgy Penguins is up 10.85% with a GMB X factor of 8.57. Poor little Algorand, they're up 10.29% with a GMB X factor of 30.75. Algorand is not doing well right now. Not doing well at all. Let's see who else. Pump.fun is up 8.46% with a GMB X factor of 3.56. Hyperliquid is up 8.01% with a GMB X factor of 0.32. I told you, Hyperliquid's doing some things. Aave is up 7.59% with a GMB X factor of 5.57. And Pepe is up 7.13% with a GMB X factor of 6.51. Told you what the GMB X factor is, the price where it is now, and where their all-time high is, that's the delta. That X factor is the delta. How much money you can make from here to there. That's why it's important to me. That's what I use to actually figure out how much money I could possibly make, and it helps me figure out my chances and everything else, and it helps me put my money in the right places to manage my own bag. Again, develop your own risk register, develop your own risk matrix, right? Reason why it's going to help you make decisions faster. Just saying. Just saying. Anyway, everybody, this is Eddie J on Crypto for GrowMyBag.tv. Hope you like what I'm doing. If you do me a favor, hit the hype, smash the likes, tell your friends about this community because it's the only one on the freaking planet that actually cares about your knowledge when it comes to investing. And I mean deep knowledge. I mean not somebody sitting there telling you what to do, but helping you learn how to learn. That's the idea. And there's a whole, if you're looking at the screen, there's a whole social media platform there to back you up. And we've got good news coming. We're only a hair away from launching a brand new channel on Roku. We're in testing phase right now. We're hoping to have that done by the end of May, and that would be that. So you'd be able to catch us on different mediums. Anyway, everybody, this is Eddie J on Crypto for GrowMyBag.tv. As always, thank you for your time. Thank you for your patience. And most definitely, thank you for your trust. Everybody have a great day. I'll see you tonight at 8 p.m. on The Overflow, where we will have a longer conversation about what's going on in today's news. Have a good one. Bye-bye.